Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how to solve word problems with systems of equations. We'll do several videos over word problems just to get you good practice. So this will be systems word problems day one. So in this first word problem, we have the school that Sarah goes to is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day, ticket sales are 9 adult tickets and 5 child tickets for a total of $112, and the school took in $192 on the second day by selling 14 adult tickets and 10 child tickets. And we want to know what is the price of 1 adult ticket and 1 child ticket. And so to do this, we're going to set up a system of equations, but before we do that, we need to, as with all word problems, write some let statements. And so our let statements are always going to be let x equal one of the things we're trying to find, and let y equal the other thing we're trying to find. Since we're dealing with systems of equations now, systems always have 2 variables in it, so we can use an x and a y to set up our word problems. So since one of the things we're trying to find is the price of an adult ticket, we can let that be x. Okay, we can let x be equal to price of an adult ticket. And since the other thing we're trying to find is the price of a child ticket, we can let that be our y. So y would be price of child ticket. Okay, now let's look at the information we're given. We're given information about the first day of ticket sales, and we're also given information about the second day of our ticket sales. So I'm going to write 2 equations, one representing the first day, and then one representing the second day. So on day 1, here's what we know. We know that the school sold 9 adult tickets. So I'm going to write the expression 9x to represent the money that they gained from adult tickets. If x is the price of 1 adult ticket, then 9 times x would be the money they took in just from the adult tickets. I'm going to add to that the money they took in from child tickets. We know that the school, they sold 9 adult tickets on the first day, and they also sold 5 child tickets. So if y is the price of a child ticket, then 5 times y would be the amount of money they took in from all the child tickets on the first day. And the total amount that they took in on that first day was 112. So this is going to be my equation for the first day. 9x plus 5y equals 112. And then I'm going to write an equation for the second day, day 2. We have 14 adult tickets on the second day, so I'll write 14x plus we have 10 child tickets on the second day, so 10y, and that's going to be equal to a total of $192 on the second day, so equals 192. Okay, now what I want you to do is practice solving this system of equations on your own. So pause the video, solve this system for x and y, and then click play to check your answer. Okay, so here's how you should have solved the system. So I went ahead and I multiplied the top equation by -2 first, and I ended up getting x equals 8. Then I plugged 8 back in for x to get y also equal to 8. So that means my solution is 8, 8. But this is a word problem, so I want to go ahead and I want to give my answer in words with labels. So I would say for this one that the cost of 1 adult ticket is going to be $8 because x was the price of our adult tickets. I would also say that the cost of 1 child ticket is also $8 because y is the price of a child ticket. Okay, let's try example 2 now. So for this one, we have Sophie and Megan selling cheesecakes for a school fundraiser. The customers can buy either a New York-style cheesecake or an apple cheesecake. It says Sophie sold 14 New York-style cheesecakes and 6 apple cheesecakes for a total of $148. Megan sold 7 New York-style and 7 apple for a total of $126. And we want to know, again, 2 things. We want to know the cost of 1 New York-style cheesecake and 1 apple cheesecake. So again, my let statements are going to involve an x and a y. And I'll just go ahead and I'll let x represent the cost of my New York cheesecake, one of those. and y can represent the cost of one of my apple cheesecakes. And so in this case, I'm given information about what Sophie sold and what Megan sold. So I'll start out by writing an equation that involves what Sophie sold. Okay, so this is going to be the equation for Sophie. She sold 14 New York style cheesecakes, so that means 14 times X, which is the cost of one New York, would be the total amount of money she got just from selling those New York style cheesecakes. She also sold 6 of the apples. So 6 times Y is going to be the cost that she got from apples, so we'll add that to our 14X. And her total that she sold was $148. So 14X plus 6Y equals 148. Okay, and now we'll write an equation for Megan using the same process. Megan sold 7 of the New York style cheesecakes, so that'll be 7X, plus she sold 7 of the apple cheesecakes as well, so that'll be 7Y, and that's going to be equal to a total of $126, so equals 126. Okay, just like for the last problem, I want you to pause and solve that system of equations for me. Okay, so for this one, when you solved, you should have come up with solutions of y equals 13 and x equals 5. And so for our answer for this problem, x is going to be the cost of a New York style cheesecake. So we know that New York's, since x equals 5, cost $5. Y is the cost for an apple, so that means that apples must cost $13. Okay, let's go on to example 3 now. And for this one, we have a county fair as being a field trip destination. It says the senior class at St. Joseph High School and the senior class at Marion High School both plan field trips to the county fair. St. Joseph senior class rented and filled 5 vans and 3 buses with a total of 222 students. Marion filled 8 vans and 9 buses with a total of 540 students. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students, and we want to find the number of students in each van and each bus. So again, I'm going to write 2 let statements, one that tells me how many students are in a van, and one that tells me how many students are in a bus. So I'll say let X equal number of students per van. And Y will be equal to the number of students per bus. What I'd like you to do for this problem is, based on all this information I've highlighted, try to write your 2 systems of equations for me. So go ahead and click pause in the video, and then after you write the system, click play to check and see if you've got the right system written down. Okay, for this one, your system should be 5x plus 3y equals 222. That represents the number of students that St. Joe took with them. And then 8x plus 9y equals 540, which represents the number of students that Marion took with them. And now what I'd like you to do is solve this system of equation using elimination, and then so pause the video to do that, and then click play to check your answers, please. Okay, so for this one, when you solve, you should get x equals 18 and y equals 44, and all I did was multiply my top equation by -3. And so since x equals 18, that means the number of students per van is going to be 18 students. And then since y equals 44, the number of students per bus must be 44 students. Okay, and then the last example. We have Ari and Jordan each improved their yards by planting sunflowers and tulips. And they bought their supplies at where else but Super Target. Ari spent $123 on 3 sunflowers and 9 tulips. Jordan spent $272 on 12 sunflowers and 14 tulips. We want to find the cost of 1 sunflower and 1 tulip. Okay, so go ahead and practice writing both your let statements and your system of equations for me. Okay, based on this information here. And then once you're done writing those 2 things, before you solve it, click play to see if you've set it up correctly. So go ahead and click pause right now and just try writing your let statements and your system, please. Okay, so this should be what your system looks like. X is going to be the cost of a sunflower, Y is going to be the cost of a tulip. And so for Ari's equation, we have 3x plus 9y equals 123. And for Jordan's, we have 12x plus 14y equals 272. Now I'd like you to pause it again and try solving that system. Okay, and so this is what you should have gotten when you solved that system. Should have had y equals 10 and x equals 11. And so that means since x is the cost of a sunflower, sunflowers must cost $11. And since y is the cost of a tulip, that means tulips cost $10. Okay, so if you need to look back through anything in this video that didn't make sense, replay an example if you need to, and then we'll talk more about this in class next time I see you. Until then, have a nice evening. You are all wonderful people.